So in this session, we'll basically discuss about how should we, if we are looking to start, how should we begin to plan our investments, and how should we invest in an idea for sustainable wealth creation, or with an objective for long-term wealth creation, along with capital protection and safety. So, in order to invest in this idea, we bring you the ICICI Prudential ESG Fund, which is described as follows. The ESG investing concept is an idea. The ESG investing is actually a sustainable investing idea in which we select companies which are based on environmental empathy, which are based on environmental empathy, companies which fulfill their duties to the environment, to the planet, companies which is planting green trees is obviously they will definitely take care of environment, and they will establish a good brand, a good value among the customers, and they will definitely grow more, likely to grow more, as they will attract more customers. Similarly, a company Similarly, a company needs to have, we need, in this idea, we select companies based on their social responsibilities, like relationship with external and internal shareholders and stakeholders, how they are interacting with their client, how is their employee engagement program, and how is their other social responsibilities, like if the company is doing some women empowerment work or not. Then the third point is we evaluate companies based on the governance parameter. This means that if a company has good ties with the government, and it is having good governance, good corporate governance among itself, it has good management and with a vision and with good practices, then the company will definitely excel more. So let us talk into more detail about these ESG parameters of this ESG investing. The first is the environmental empathy parameter, the parameter E of ESG investing. Companies are scored based on the activities they are undertaking to effectively dispose the waste, to address climate change issues, to conserve the energy, to conserve water, to prevent pollution. Companies which are doing steps or which are taking steps in these directions, they are given a particular score. And let me give you a simple example how these parameters matter, and how this can actually affect the growth of a company. So let us take an example. There is a company A, which is an industrial manufacturing company. Let us assume that it is a paper manufacturing company, and it is inefficiently using water. So what will happen is, since water is very vital for the paper industry, this will definitely affect their future operations and their cash flows and profits. So the growth of this company will be definitely hampered. And company B, on the other side, let us assume this is a software-based company. It opts for, let's suppose, renewable resources of energy, like Amazon. It has completely opted for green environment. What happens here is that conserving non-renewable energy is actually very important, and it will actually save you a lot of operating costs. It will help you reducing the operating cost by huge margin. So definitely this company will definitely grow. It will show growth because it will have lower operation costs and therefore increased profits. Now let us talk about the second parameter of the ESG investing, which is the social responsibility. So the second here, what happens is that companies are scored based on their activities undertaken on gender equality, women empowerment, donations to social causes, their quality products, their labor welfare, human rights. So if a company is doing good for their employees, doing good for the society, then definitely that company will have a strong brand image. Let us take this example. There is a company P, and it neglects its safety towards its workers. So what might happen is that the workers may go on indefinite strike, and that may hamper the production and hence the growth of the company. So this is definitely an incorrect approach. On the other hand, there is a company Q, which encourages women to restart their career after a break, encourages women empowerment, and the ratio of man to women increases in the organization. So in this way, it gains more confidence and it builds up a more stronger brand, and this obviously will help grow the company in future. Now let us talk about the third parameter of ESG investing, which is the corporate governance, the G parameter. So companies, they are scored on their activities undertaken in these fields, like how ethical their practices are, how effective their management is, are they performing any illegal or fraud activities, and how they are having their strong internal controls and everything. So, based on these parameters, companies are evaluated and judged ki, okay, how they can perform and how their growth can happen in the future. So let us take an example. There is a company X which does manipulation of records. So in future, this company may be subject to some regulation or actions by regulators and different penalties, which will definitely affect the growth of the company. And company Y, on the other hand, which is backed by a strong management team, if a management of a company is a strong, then what happens is that the profits and the vision of the company, the products, the services that the company makes, everything, the quality of everything improves, and this improves the overall brand image of the company, and definitely this encourages good people to work. Talented people are attracted to work here, and this actually boosts the growth of the company. So now let us talk about the relationship between these three factors of the ESG investing concept, which is very hot concept. So the corporate governance, this plays a vital role in selecting the companies. Out of these ESG, the government G parameters, the governance parameter is major, because a company with a strong or good corporate governance will also ensure its fulfillment towards the environment as well as towards the society. If a company has good management, then definitely it will undertake CSR activities. It will definitely do environmental activities, and it will definitely focus on saving energy, saving the environment, which will definitely boost its ESG score, and it will create a strong brand image and the company will grow. So let us now discuss the traditional approach versus responsible approach to investing. Because while ESG investing idea, we believe that ESG is a very responsible approach to investing. So earlier, what happened was in traditional investing, when capital came, it went into traditional investing instruments. So what happened was they were judged based on certain financial parameters and invested. But in ESG, what happens is that instead of traditional investing, we do responsible investing, and we judge based on financial parameters plus ESG parameters. And in ESG parameters, we screen the companies based on their social factors first. So out of the 100 lots, 1,000 lot companies, different companies, we first screen the companies based on their social factors, and then we do their ESG integration, like we do their ESG score calculation, and the entire themes and everything is put into our calculator, our robust logic, and all the parameters, all filters are applied, and then at the end we get active ownership and active companies, which we can definitely invest in this fund. So this is how this idea of responsible investing will help us grow more and get even better returns with this fund. So now let us look at the global presence of ESG country wise. If we look in the year 2014, ESG was around $10,755 billion. That was the market cap of ESG in Europe. In United States, it was there, and in Canada, it was there, and marginally in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and these countries. In 2016, just 2 years later, the market cap of ESG in Europe again alone increased by roughly 20%, 15 to 20%. In United States alone, again 15 to 20%. All over the world, there was increase. You can see the circles growing bigger. And if we move farther, in the year 2018, the circles are getting even more bigger. So if we look here, overall, there has been good increment in the last 4 years. In 4 years, from 10,000 to 14,000, is from 6,500 to 12,000 roughly, from 7,700 to 1,600. So roughly everything has doubled in 4 years. This means a CAGR of around 17 to 18%. This is how the investment has, this is how the presence of this portfolio, this market cap, this market, and these companies has increased globally. Now, if we look at the global presence of assets under management, if we look at the growth of the assets under management under this idea, based on the resource of source of city research, we find that from the year 2006 to 2018, it has increased roughly a lot. It has increased nearly a lot. See, it started at roughly around 8 to 10. and it is around 2000, so around more than 200 times. Assets under management, the AUM growth has increased by more than 200 times in a span of just 12 years, which is a lot. And this is the time when there was great economic depression, this time 2008 to 2009. So this incorporates that year as well. So again, if we look at global presence of the funds into sustainable funds, how the how companies or foreign institutional investors or how big investors have invested in companies or funds, if we look into that, so if we look at how sustainable funds have attracted investors, so from the year 2009 to 2019 there has been an increase in the funds, increase in the flow. Overall there has been increase in the funds. Overall, the sustainable funds has seen quite increase in funds. It has increased from 21 to 154, which is roughly 7.5 times, which is a lot in just 10 years. If we look at the global presence of the number of schemes, how many number of schemes have been introduced? Schemes means how many mutual fund companies across the world have introduced this idea of ESG investing. So in the year 2009, globally around 1,168 different mutual funds were running, mutual fund or different schemes were running. And by the year of 2020, in around 11 years, this number has around tripled, roughly tripled, which is a lot. So the number of schemes have invested, because if a person has started, let's suppose, investing in this scheme, obviously when another scheme from the same category will come, he won't, most likely the person won't be switching to a new scheme. So it is like new people are getting added. Now let us look at the ESG concerns and the need for ESG investing in India. So if we look at the environmental issues, so roughly 17% of the world's population resides in India, and yet we share only 2.4% of the land. So see the population density. Water stress levels are at 54%, which is a lot. And out of the 12 top most polluted cities globally, India has 11 cities, which is a lot, which is a lot actually. If we look into social issues, so this is the need here. This is the environmental need. This is the need. There is a lot of scope for improvement here. So this means that companies focusing on these will improve a lot here. Okay. Now, if we talk about social issues, poverty is nearly affecting around 18% of the population. Poverty, and there are labor law issues. There are gender discrimination. There are gender discrimination issues, there are illiteracy issues, there are labor laws issues, and there are multiple concerns which are still prevalent in our country. And due to all these social issues, it is of utmost important that companies should start focusing on these parameters. And if we pick these companies based on these parameters, so this means that there is a lot of scope for improvement, for growth. If Reliance has already growth and growth, and there is a lot of scope for improvement, and if we are buying Reliance, that means that Reliance has this much more extra scope for growth. This will definitely attract a lot of investment, because the company will definitely boom its business. Similarly, if there is a lot of scope for social development, then definitely the company is still to reach a lot of audience. The company has still not reached a lot of customers. So that means the company's growth is still there. And if we begin investing now, then that will give us good results in future. If we talk about the corporate issues, so India is still lagging behind its developed market peers, and overseas companies prefer companies with very strong background. So, if we want to select a company, and if we want that, if we are looking for companies, and if we want to in our company foreign institutional investors invest, then those investors invest only in those companies which have strong backgrounds, which have strong leadership, corporate framework, and everything. These things attract young and talented minds. Talented people, when they join your company, they grow your company and they boost your company's profits and operating margins, and you grow and you excel, and uh, the stock price follows the same. And India has seen a lot of frauds and illegal activities coming to light, and this means that these things also need to be taken care of. And in future, when investors decide to invest, they will definitely focus on these points, on companies which are focusing, which have high ESG score. They will definitely attract more investment, and therefore their share prices will increase, and that will be a beneficial for us. And therefore, this idea is a good idea. Now, benefits of ESG based investing. Why opt for ESG investing? Let us talk about the benefits. So, the point number one, it is unlikely to be affected by any regulations, taxes, or restrictions to save the planet, society, or maintain governance. See, these companies are already maintaining their social, environmental, and governance act. They are already maintaining the ESG things. So, it is very unlikely that the government will or people will like go on strike on these companies, or people will come on march or rallies against this company, or boycott this company, or the government, or environmentally this company may face problems, because if a company is trying to use renewable sources, that means that the company is increasing its operating profits. Second is, these companies can push these can push companies to become aware of their negative actions. Companies, there are many companies which pay a lot of companies, like there is a case of JP Morgan. That company pays a lot of I mean, last year a lot of the losses of that company were accounted because of these activities. There was DND violations, there were different legal lawsuits, and the company had to pay a lot of legal fines and penalties that affected the operating costs and profits of the company. So companies with good ESG score, they generally avoid this thing. And the third point is, encourage companies to behave more responsibly, which is the need of the hour. That's actually the need of the hour. Both, I mean, from all the 3 points, from the environmental point, from the social point, from the governance point, it is the need of the hour, and this is what the companies must do. And they should adopt. Change is the law of nature, and if you are not ready to adapt to change, and if cannot adopt to the change, then you will be destroyed. And similarly, if we are investing in good companies which are able to adapt to the change, then definitely that we have a good future. We have our future secured. Fourthly, climate change, social issues, poor corporate governance ultimately pose a threat to the company's future, sustainability, earnings, and growth. Definitely, if these issues are there in a company, then the profits will definitely start to hamper, and then eventually the company might get shut down. Fifth is, exposure to long-standing companies are USG ESG compliant. See, majorly if we look into long-lasting companies, companies like Wipro, TCS, companies which have been constantly running from last multiple years, from last 20 years, 30 years, these companies are usually ESG compliant, and this proves that if these companies are following this tactic, then uh, definitely this will add an advantage to any other company. This idea. Now let us talk about the ESG based investing scope in India. So the concept is a very is it is a very at it is at a very nascent and unexplored stage in India. In India, it is very new concept. It is like rising. It is like a baby. So it is like the correct time to invest in India. It can expect participation from pension funds, from large institutional, from millionaires and different people. See, the scope is that since this is a very sustainable idea, it is a sustainable development. So many pension funds and many large institutions may invest in these funds, which will again impact the cost stocks of the companies in which these funds are investing, and hence there will be more investments, and there will be more profit operating margins, and hence more profits. Also, growing awareness about the need and benefit of ESG investing. uh, these awareness are getting created day by day, and if we talk about stories, just 2 3 years back there was no 3G, there was no 4G, and see now 3G has almost gone, 4G has taken over, and we are talking about 5G now. So we also, I mean, definitely if this concept sounds new to you, believe me, after 2 3 years, when this concept has already given good results, then you will definitely regret you. Why didn't I investing early when it was very cheap? So now, in order to invest in ESG investing, we are presenting the ICICI Prudential ESG Fund. ICICI Prudential ESG Fund is a fund that encourages sustainable investing in companies that follow the ESG theme, the environmental, the social, the governance theme. Everything should be good. This builds the confidence both while investing and way of living. This is actually a very good line. And if everything is good, if ESG, every SG, everything should be good. ESG means everything should be good. Now, about the ICICI Prudential ESG Fund, why should you choose to invest in ICICI Prudential ESG Fund? So, the investment philosophy is that it identifies companies with a high ESG score, which reflects the strength and stability of these companies. So, companies with high ESG score have definitely high strength and they are definitely more stable, which we discussed in the previous slides. The selection process will be based on an internal research or from the Nifty 50 ESG universe, the Nifty 100 ESG universe, sorry. Uh, the companies will selected based on internal research conducted by the ICICI research team, as well as from the Nifty 100 ESG index. The companies which are present on that index will be cherry picked. The investment process will be ratings are based on an in-depth and the companies will be given ratings which are based on an in-depth study and research, and any news or controversies will lead to re-evaluation. Let's suppose a news about a company comes, see some fraud or some different management activity or some environmental damage the company has done. So again, based on news, there will be again re-evaluation of the ESG score. Communication with company management to suggest the ESG score enhancement measures will also be taken care of. We will all the companies where we'll be investing in this fund, the fund managers will communicate with those companies and suggest measures to improve their ESG score. So this will ensure that companies which are now ESG compliant will remain ESG compliant. Achieving success is not difficult. Maintaining and staying successful is difficult. So similarly here. Now about the allocation. So about 80 to 100% in the companies with strong ESG scores. We'll allocate almost all the percent with companies only in strong ESG score. And we can also invest in foreign investments, foreign companies as well. We can invest in companies like Google, Facebook. So this is another advantage of investing in this fund is that you get exposure to international companies like Volkswagen, Volkswagen, Sony, Mitsubishi, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, these companies have very high ESG score and they have grown a lot and you get a chance for global investment as well. These companies will avoid sin companies and tobacco and weapon sin companies such as tobacco, weapon and alcohol manufacturing companies. This will basically avoid the sin stocks like ITC, McDowell's, United Spirit, Bharat Dynamics, Hindustan and HAL maybe. So these stocks will be avoided because these do not have social responsibility and hence these companies have poor ESG score. Companies with it does not mean that these companies do not grow. They might grow, they are growing, but we will not be investing in these companies. The companies with government issues, companies which have been fined, which have been penaltied by the government, companies which are on which actions by the regulators have been taken, we will be avoiding these companies. And the objective is to maintain a portfolio with a sustainable ESG score. And when a sustainable ESG score is maintained, we have just saw that the companies will grow. Now let us talk about the ESG scorecard and talk about the best and worst. So about the environmental empathy, the worst case can be that no steps has been taken by the company to help the environment, and activities actually the company is doing activities that harm the earth. And the case can be efforts that are taken by the company to make a difference and to prevent the environmental damage and to mend or repair the environmental damage. If companies are doing these, then that is the best possible case in environment. In social, if a company is not taking any social activity and it is treating people improperly, then that companies are treated as worse. They are rated very poorly. And companies which undertake corporate social responsibilities or CSR activities and which also ensure the well-being of people and their employees have good ESG, have good S score. in the ESG score, and therefore those companies will be selected. In governments, companies which have been engaged in malpractices and companies which are not that transparent, those companies will strictly be avoided, and those are will be rated worse. And companies which are transparent and ethical with a strong management, they will be rated as best. And based on this scorecard, the ESG score will be computed, and companies will be shortlisted based on this score. Now let us take a look into this illustration. There is a company A in which the environmental factor score is zero point 0.9, which means that it is doing an inefficient waste management. That means it will get very low score, below 1. So that means it will, let's suppose, get a score of 1.5. If the company's average work it has if the company has very average working conditions, that means the company will have very low social score as well. And let's suppose the company has unfavorable track record of the management has been involved in scams and multiple things. That means that a company will be getting a lower G score as well. So overall the score is 4. Similarly, if a company, on the other hand, is involved in water harvesting and conservation of water, it might be given a score of 2.1. And if, let's suppose, it dedicates 5% of the profits for social causes, then it will get a higher ESG score. And if the company has strong management, it will get another higher score. So the difference is a lot. The score difference is roughly double. This means that based on this philosophy, the second company Z, will be more likely to it will be likely to grow at a higher pace and at a higher rate than the company A. Now let us look at into the Nifty 100 ESG index, which is the benchmark index. It is the benchmark index which we will be following in this fund. So the benchmark has 88 companies spread across 17 sectors. So the financial services sector has around 27.3% weightage in this. The ESG, the financial sector has around this much weightage of the entire ESG companies. The IT sector has around 18.5% weightage. Then consumer good companies have 13 to 14% weightage. Then oil companies have 12%. Then pharma companies. So majorly those companies where working professionals are employed for salary, mainly IT people, financial people, and consumption based, demand based jobs, all those sectors are actually their weightage is a lot, because here social responsibilities are a lot. And if you look into the companies, so Reliance Industries has a weightage of 10.7%, Infosys has 9.6%, HDFC Bank, HDFC, TCS, HUL, L&T, Bharti Airtel, Axis Bank, and ICICI. So portfolio has a strong, this portfolio has very strong backing by these, spread across 17 sectors in this weightage, and these are the top companies. Now, let us look at the ability to outperform in the long run, ability of this ESG fund to outperform in the long run. If we talk about ESG focused companies, if we talk about the growth of rupees 100, if we look at if we would have invested rupees 100 in August 2011, then at the end of 10 years, if it would have been invested in the Nifty 50 index, it would have yielded 198 rupees, and we can clearly see that the ESG index has clearly outperformed the Nifty 50 index, and it has consistently outperformed the Nifty 50 index. The ESG focused companies show better growth, which translates into better wealth creation for investors. These companies actually show better growth, and see, at the end, wealth creation is more. If we look here the percentage growth is 100 rupees has grown to 200 roughly here, and here 225 roughly. So around 25% difference is there at the end of 10 years. If we look into this year's portfolio, when Nifty 50 fell by 37%, the ESG portfolio, the orange line ESG portfolio, is still above the Nifty 50, while during the fall as well as during the rise. It has consistently outperformed. ESG friendly portfolios can be more resilient in downturns as well. This has been proven in during this pandemic as well. And post the correction, the Nifty 100 ESG index has completely recovered, and the Nifty is still down by 5%. So the Nifty ESG index has actually, if we look here, it has outperformed as well as it has completely recovered. The recovery is 100%. It has recovered completely. There is no loss as of now in this index, but the Nifty 50 index is still in a loss of around 5%. Now, let us talk about the Nifty ESG index performance in the last 1 year. It has, if we talk about the Nifty 100 index, which is shown by the green, and Nifty 50, which is the benchmark. So, in the last 1 year, Nifty ESG index has grown at a rate of 11%, and Nifty 50 has grown just 6%. In last 2 years, Nifty 50 has actually reduced by 1% due to pandemic overall net 2 years, and ESG has actually given you a return of 1%. In the last 3 years overall, ESG companies have given you a return of overall 8%, again beating the benchmark. In the last 5 years, again beating the benchmark. And in the last 10 years, again beating the benchmark. It has consistently outperformed the market. And if we look into year till date, like from January 1st, 2020 to till date, the markets are currently down by 7% and ESG is just down by 1%, this portfolio. So this portfolio has consistently outperformed the markets in the long as well as short run. Now, but there are multiple concepts that people might be scared that whether it is the correct time to invest or not. And whenever I feel these things, what I believe is that I just read this line. This line means that this line by Sir John Templeton, who was a very legendary investor, he said that bull markets are born on pessimism. They grow on skepticism, they mature on optimism, and die on euphoria. That means when there is so much negativity in the market, when there is a lot of negativity in the market, when there is a lot of negativity in the market, we can see that when there is a lot of negativity in the market, at that time bull market was born, and since March 2020, from the levels of 65, the market has recovered to the levels of 100, which is roughly around 35 to 40% increase in a span of just 5 to 6 months. In a short span of just 5 months, it has shown an increment of around 55%. So when there was a lot of pessimism, the bull market was born. And after the bull market is born, it grows on skepticism. When people are skeptical, like right now, people are actually skeptical. They don't know where to proceed because just 1 month ago, there was news about vaccines, about many things, about kicking start of the economy. But now again, cases are rising in Europe and many countries. Even the United States are, even Fed policies are not giving good joys to the customers. So overall, what is happening is that there is a lot of skepticism and people are skeptical, and this means that this is the time when the bull market is growing. So this is the time, this is where we are right now. And once this market grows, it will enter into the maturity phase. And when the market matures, there will be a lot of optimism. If you look ideally, see, during due to pandemic, what has happened is that everybody's work efficiency has actually increased because people who wasted a lot of time during in traveling and all, they are actually conducting meetings and sessions online. They are actually giving that 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours of extra time every day. People who actually didn't knew how to use Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp are now conducting online sessions. They knew, so everybody has improved. And if we look into the factor, I mean, for the growth of GDP, for the growth of GDP, for the growth of GDP, there are two factors are majorly important. Two factors are majorly important. One is population, because GDP is the number of total value of goods and services produced. So GDP is one thing is like in GDP, if you have a lot of population, then you will have a lot of GDP, or if you have a lot of skills in the population, then you will have a lot of GDP. So India has a lot of population. That is why India is ranked among top 5, 7 countries in GDP wise. But the skills of the population is also increasing due to COVID. Everybody is now more efficient, which will bear fruits in the future. This means that the market will mature and there will be optimism. and you have to start riding the rally, and you have to start investing right now when there is skepticism, when things are cheaper, because when things start to mature, when there is optimism, then the market will definitely grow, and at the end the markets will die in euphoria. That is when the magic will happen. That is when you will achieve a portfolio of 1 cr or 100 cr, whatever is your dream. So this is how things happen, and whenever I'm in doubt, I just read these things and everything gets cleared. And let us look here, let us look into this graph. See here, this is the graph of monthly FII DII investment. So whenever there has been negative investments, whenever there has been pull out, the markets have dragged down. When there was positive flows, markets rose. When there was positivity, market flows. When there was negativity, market dragged down. So right now also, I mean consistently, whenever there was negativity, market came down. Market came down. This line is the market. This is the negativity. Overall, right now, again, we are seeing that the market is coming down and there is again outflow of funds. People are scared. So, this is again an investment opportunity. And this is the right time to invest. And this is when the ICICI Prudential ESG fund is getting launched. And that now let us talk about the key takeaways from this session. And then we'll conclude the session and inform you how to start investing in this instrument. So Indian companies too have started taking steps towards adopting better practices. So Indian companies have actually taken steps to adopt better practices. This will mean that they will start becoming ESG compliant. That means that this idea will grow more. Increasing shareholder awareness and rising millennial voice means rising the millennial voice means rising the voice of the population. Look, if you look at the SSR case, the Sushant Singh Rajput case, I don't want to bring that case into my personal benefit, but if we look at the that great actor's legacy, after his death, due to the involvement of public and media, the case is now so hyped. And if you talk about the current incidences, the legal proceedings which are going on, and multiple Bollywood celebrities are being dragged, and different things are getting happened. So that is only due to the rising voice of the millennials. Still, people are now more. The people have more power because of the influence of social media. So that means companies which have good image, which have good social reach, will definitely grow more. At the end, if customer is king, then if a company is reaching his king easier, easier, then that means that company will be able to grow better. Now, regulatory actions in India are being implemented to ensure better ESG standards. Every day, stock markets and SEBI are introducing regulations, and the rules are changing day by day. The government is also changing rules, and it is becoming strict on these corporate measures so that companies are more ESG compliant, and this idea booms more. Now, India has maximum exposure to environmental and social issues, as well as governmental issues. There is a lot of corruption, there is a lot of pollution, there is a lot of social issues, inequality, gender inequality, poverty, monetary, financial. There are different scope, and the scope for improvement is a large. I mean, in the next 10 to 20 years, if we invest right now, then there is a lot of scope for improvement and growth in this sector. So these are the key takeaways. And if we talk about the ICICI Prudential new fund offer means when a mutual fund is getting listed for the first time, it is getting offered for the first time. That is called a new fund offer. It is like a stock gets listed for the first time on the market. The initial time, that time is called an IPO. Similarly, for a fund, it is called a new fund offer or an NFO. So the new fund offer has already begun from 21st September. It has already been 5 days, and it ends on October 5, 2020. Until then, if you invest in lump sum, you will be allotted units at the rate of NAV of 10 per unit. You can pay via RTGS, NEFT, online transfer, MICR checks. Options, there are two different growth and dividend options, and obviously the direct fund growth and dividend option, the regular fund and the direct plan. Their switch and request from equity schemes and other schemes will be accepted up to October 5 only from different ICICI schemes. Switching from ICICI US Blue Chip Equity Fund, ICICI Prudential Global Advantage Fund of Fund will not be these switching from these schemes will not be accepted, but switching from different other schemes will be accepted. Minimum application amount during NFO is 5,000. If you want to subscribe as a lump sum investment, then you have to invest a minimum of 5,000, or you can start SIP later on from a minimum of 500 to 1,000 that will be shared. So the minimum lump sum investment amount is 5,000 and minimum SIP amount is just 1,000. And these are the risk disclosures. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully before investing. ICICI Prudential ESG Fund is an open ended scheme, meaning you can add and withdraw funds anytime from the scheme, and it has investing in companies identified based on the environmental, social, and governance theme. This scheme is sustainable for investors who are seeking long term capital appreciation or wealth creation. An equity ended scheme that invests in equities and equity related instruments following the ESG theme. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this session. You have been a great audience. Do hit the like button and do subscribe and follow to my like my channel and like my page. You can even like my follow my YouTube channel, and you can watch all the videos, live videos there. Definitely reach out to this page if you want to start investing in us with us. We have an offer. We will be providing you mutual fund assistance, lifetime assistance, free of any charges if you just open an account with us. So ping us, reach out to us, spread the word, and we will definitely reward you with incentives for referrals. We'll definitely award you referral bonuses in the form of Amazon Pay vouchers or Flipkart vouchers, as well as we will definitely, if you are want to invest, definitely do reach out to us and spread the word. Take care, happy investing, and bye bye.